Shorty got me working hard like a mantis. GPS, I'm on the way, ma. Fill the bottle out the bottle, I just wanna see you sweat.
All right, world. Welcome back. Episode 3 of the Culture Kickback. I'm in studio. We're actually at Renfield's Corner in Uptown, Dallas, Texas, with my homeboy
DJ Brian Pibb right here.
We are here with the Culture Kickback. As always, Tuesday nights, we talk about movies, and after we're done, DJ Brian Pibb will be playing music till
I play till 2 o'clock.
Till 2 a.m. Man, we keep the party going. We turn up on a Tuesday. If y'all remember that song. What we talking about today, Brian?
Well, today we're doing a Halo 2 tournament, and also if you come up here, there's all kinds of retro gaming. So help yourself to a game while you're drinking a beer. That's what Tuesdays is all about.
What is retro gaming? What is that?
Retro gaming would be Nintendo, Xbox One. Sorry, original Xbox, PS2. Just Sega Genesis, shit like that.
So people actually play old video games.
Yeah, that's
really.
Yeah.
Not you talking about not PS4 or Xbox One?
Oh, we got some Xbox One and PS.
You talking about the Switch?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, I mean they play the original system.
People play old video games.
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
New shit, ladies and gentlemen. New shit every day. You hear about new shit every day. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Well, today we're going to talk about AntMan and the Wasp.
Oh shit! This is our first Marvel film, right?
Yeah.
It's our first.
Well, we did a Star Wars one on our first intro.
Then we did Jurassic Park, and now this is our first official Marvel film. I'm a huge Marvel fan.
I would say
Stan. I would say I'm a Stan.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a huge letdown from Avengers. I understand this movie is about fun. After you've had the grim realities of how depressed it made you feel, because how good Avengers Infinity War made you feel. But I'm going to tell you straight up, and I love the first Ant-Man. This movie just did not do it for me. Go ahead and tell me why.
I think I have a different opinion than you. I do agree that, yes, after Infinity War, that this is slightly different scale, but I'm all right with that because, these films Marvel films don't necessarily, just like the comic books, whatever's going on in one episode or one issue of a comic book doesn't necessarily mean that that's the tone set for what's happening in other comic books. And I feel that's exactly what Marvel's doing. And so my letdown is not because of what happens between the start of the film and the end of the film, but because of the stuff that I heard outside, Kevin Feige said that it was like Civil War 2 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Not even in the least, but I thought maybe Hawkeye was going to show up, at least a couple other, you know what I'm saying? A couple of other cameos and nothing. But other than that, I felt like it was in tone and felt like a great sequel to the original. Maybe not as funny. I still think the first one's better, but I think it's a great sequel to Ant-Man. And but what let me down? I need to watch it again to really see it. But my major letdowns were the outside influences of the MCU. Is what I was.
Well,
what
I'm
I was
not saying that I didn't like it for those reasons. Particularly, I'm saying that I felt like it was not up to par of a $10 ticket. I don't know.
I only paid $7 for my XD, and I got my $7 worth.
The 3D was on point.
I don't watch 3D.
And Paul Rudd is excellent in the movie.
Paul Rudd is excellent in every movie.
Let's be honest, man. The Wasp, she owns the movie the whole time.
She's good, yeah. I think that was as far as pre-production and training and stuff like that. I think it was very eloquently done. That it shows that she's more equipped to be, or use these powers than Scott Lang is, right. And I think that's good because she does. She effortlessly kicks ass throughout the film, and Scott Lang or Ant-Man kind of struggles with his fighting, which I like. I think that's supposed to be evident.
I felt it was just too slapsticky for a film that, even though, Ant-Man is funny and Scott's funny, and this situation is not as serious or dire as many of the other characters. It just seems like, they needed to go up a notch, not down a notch, and that's what I felt like.
Down a notch on what?
I felt like down a notch on the storyline. You know, like
down a notch on the storyline.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I'm gonna be honest with you, like. Okay, yes, we had to go find Michelle Pfeiffer's character in the other realm.
Right.
But once we got her, it didn't seem like we get any answers from that.
See, I think your major problem is exactly what you studied out in this episode is that, like, with everything going on at, like, with the Infinity War and the Infinity Gauntlet and shit like that, I think you expected more. Because here's the thing, if this movie came out in February or January, without knowing what was going on in Infinity War, I think, well, I mean, I don't know for certain that you'd feel that way, but I understand what you're talking about, because those are my letdowns, is that I feel like that, like, there should be, like, with everything going on, like, there should have been something a little bit more where they tied in. Now, I think now storyline-wise, I think it's right in line with what happens in the first movie.
And if you see the spoiler, let's go ahead and go to spoiler territory. If you haven't seen it,
stop
walk
it now.
Away.
Walk away, Cammy.
Yeah.
Walk away.
So you go into credits, and then we see, Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer's character put Scott in the realm, and then to update their technology, and then all of a sudden, Infinity Gauntlet is used, and they're disappeared. So, like, right now, that's our spoiler for what's going to go into Infinity War 2. Like, all we know is basically everything, all the shoulders is on Captain Marvel when it comes up next, so we have no answers. We have no answers, and like you said, what we were talking before the camera was on, that the other little, spoiler at the end, like, really don't need a jokey cameo of the ant.
I mean, but that's in line with the movie. Like, I don't think. See, again, my expectations were let down because I opened my ears and eyes to things outside of the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, because if I hadn't read Kevin Feige said that thing, I wouldn't have had that expectation. And it was not fair to the movie to like. It's like that scene Guardians of the Galaxy when they had Howard the Duck in there and that little, I see that there's those jokey ones because honestly, maybe he doesn't want you to know anything really. I mean, we're gonna get our answers. I mean, that's the point of the end credit sequences in Marvel films has never really been about answers, only teasing and hinting at what future possibilities may lie.
And then here's another thing. So John did bring it up to my attention is that, why he didn't disappear like all three of the Wasp and all her mom and dad did is because maybe was he in another realm or because he was just avoided from the 50% that was disappeared. We don't know. We don't know any answers. I feel like the Civil War,
but I think it's one of those kind of things that I don't think you can know. I don't know that, like, if you're in the 50%, unless you, like, analyze everyone that disappeared, and then if Scott Lang is 50.1%, I mean, I don't think you'll ever know if being in the other realm saved him or if he was victim to...
Maybe the Lawrence Fishburne character and the Ghost character, that there's something more important to those two. And maybe we'll get some more answers with Infinity War 2, or...
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not to say that we won't see them again, but I doubt that they'll make an appearance in Infinity War. Side characters don't show up in these the crossovers.
They concentrated her as such a villain, but she really wasn't a villain after...
she was just a misguided person, right. I mean, like, there really wasn't a villain per se in this film, which is fine. You don't necessarily need a villain, I mean...
Right. So, with that said, I'm just saying... Maybe her technology, something has to. There's going to be some use for her in the future.
Now you do bring up a point though, since she wasn't. She is she was quite an adversary, but she wasn't a villain. Right. I would have liked to seen a Marvel villain who, and I hope for the part 3 that we actually get a valid villain for for Ant-Man and Wasp.
I wouldn't be surprised if her technology helps out with Infinity War 2. That's just my opinion.
Who's Ghost?
Yeah. And
you think?
Yeah, I'm saying there's some sort of bridge between that character Ghost and Scott Lang. What's going to help out with them?
And now are you reading into that because of stuff like Kevin Feige and what?
No, the only thing I think what you said about the Civil War 2 plot device is when Michael Douglas and Wasp were almost attacked by all the FBI agents, and when the FBI agent was trying to take, back to spoiler territory, trying to take the home for, basically the arms dealer.
What? I didn't understand what you said.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that slowly. The arms dealer that was trying to give them certain things, they wanted that technology, right? So basically, the whole thing is he was going to make that guy a head FBI agent if he got him that technology. So that guy stole the.
Was that implied? I just thought he just needed a win. I think that's
no. He tried to put that in his back truck of his car
but only for the purpose of a payoff. That guy was he was lower than the Asian guy. So really all he was doing was just being an inside informant.
Basically a double agent.
He was just getting paid to do what he was doing.
Right.
I don't think he would have been a
right.
Because here's the thing is. If you had that in your possession and then you lost it, I don't think anyone's giving you a raise when you lose that kind of tech.
I don't think those agency knew that what they had in hand. They were just trying to get.
I think that if there was anything to have to do with Hank Pym, that they want it, regardless if they understand it or not. They want it.
So with that said, all I would say is that there was a serious plot line with the FBI agent. Now they thought Scott Lang was out of this house, but honestly, he manipulated it to where he was doing both. He was at home following his parole. So with that said, and he said, I'll be back, but he was like, I feel like they're having their eyes close on Scott, and I feel like we're going to get more answers. There's, it's not going to be the second and last Ant-Man. I feel like Ant-Man's going to be popular. It's already did $75 million on its first weekend, which was double 25 million more than the first. So I feel like Ant-Man is going to get a lot more popular this time around than last time.
But here's the thing: it's going into the next Infinity War. I think they're going to they're probably going to dismiss his parole or whatever because there aren't a lot of heroes left in the thing. So he's got quite a bargaining chip moving forward if he if he gets involved in this whole shebang. To get rid of whatever handcuffs they got on him. So
obviously they had plans for Scott when they brought him in the Civil War. So it wasn't just hey you're convenient. That
I did like some of that because that's something I didn't even think of. He was closely tied to Hank Pym and his daughter.
Right.
So, in their appearance in Civil War, like I said, the side characters don't seem to make the crossover journey along with their their main counterparts.
Right.
So, I did like to see that in Ant-Man that they did they weren't just okay with it.
Yeah.
He did it without tail in or or checking in with them. So that was pretty cool. I did like that. There was a little bit of carryover from Civil War, but not enough. I thought for sure that Hawkeye was going to make an appearance in this film because he wasn't in Infinity War, so I thought for sure.
Well, I definitely think we're going to get our answers very soon. Where Ronan or / Hawkeye is, and but the few thing is, I don't think Ant-Man's going anywhere. I feel like in anything when they do bring Wasp back, because she will be brought back eventually.
Of course,
she's going to be a key character.
Yeah, she's going to be a main component of the Avengers at some point, I'm sure.
Right. So, basically, we got a lot of torches being passed right now because you got a lot of contracts ending. You got a lot of guys who want to do other things, and when they find out that those things don't pan out, they're going to come back to the universe. What else?
I don't know if that's going to be able to happen because a lot of these characters are the actors playing them are older. I think they're just going to get replaced in the next 5-10 years. Those characters will get replaced.
Yeah, it bums me out to hear Chris Evans saying he's about he wants to retire to Captain America character.
But see, as a comic book fan, I don't care about that because guess what? Every year or so, every year or 2 years, the writers and artists on comic books change.
Right.
So the very look of some of these characters change multiple times. So
it's not like Green Lantern when you have 4 lanterns and different Earths and all that.
What
stuff,
I hope they do, I hope they don't retcon the universe just because they replace an actor. When they replace Chris Evans, I hope it's just taking place in the current continuity.
They hired the guy that plays Bucky for 12 films, so Bucky is supposed to be the new Captain America. That's just the way it is.
Well, that's what
in
happened in the comics,
books,
yeah.
You know, so with that said, I think they're nervous to get rid of key players, Chris Hemsworth. Even though they don't want to sign those hefty contracts to get him back in, getting rid of Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, or Chris Hemsworth is a risk. You know, like, you don't know how successful these...
Right. But if they do, I hope they take a while to replace them and allow the, like, you know, because like you said, Bucky replaced him, but also in the comics currently, I think Falcon is currently Captain America. So they have different options to replace these characters, and then Iron Man is currently a teenage girl playing, which I would actually like to see Zuri, or what's her name from what's Black Panther's sister? I think it's Zuri. I think her name's Zuri.
Well,
I could be wrong.
She's supposed to be the last. She's also in the comics. She turns into a Black Panther. You know, like
right. Well, but I wouldn't mind seeing her since she's great with tech. I would love to see her be that new Iron Man. That would be kind of dope.
Well, here's the situation on that.
Already.
I don't think they were planning on Black Panther to do
as well as it did.
Well as it did. So now, if you look at the Avengers Infinity War poster, he's like on the top 4 guys, you know? So like, they have big plans for that franchise, you know?
If they did before, they do now.
Yeah. So with that said, you know, like, there's no telling what's going to happen with Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is a genius, and that's why every universe that's from DC to Star Wars is trying to borrow from
emulate what they're doing.
Yeah,
right.
So with that said, you know, we don't know, and that's why people keep coming back to these films now. It's like, what is he going to do next? You know, like, we know that at least you'll get your money's worth. Even if I did get my money's worth so much on this.
Ain't nobody told you to watch 3D?
Yeah, you know, I'm not saying that it was a bad movie. I just was disappointed versus the other films. Like, I felt like it was Iron Man 2 to me, honestly. Like, I remember Iron Man 1 everybody was on high right here. Then you watch Iron Man 2, it was like, that's how I felt.
Nothing was worse than Iron Man 3.
Yeah. I did not like Iron Man 3. I'm sorry.
No, they totally dropped the ball with Mandarin. Mandarin, reading the comics, Mandarin was one of my favorite villains. Like, I mean, hell, he's basically a minor Thanos. I mean, like, he has rings of power.
And I love
do
Shane Black.
things.
So Shane Black is a great director.
Right.
We talked about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
But talk about
nice
dropping
guys,
the fucking ball on a villain, man.
You know, but I also feel like he probably had some people in his ear play it safe. So
yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, I think because Iron Man 3 kind of suffered those changes, writer changes, and that usually happens.
I think they had to renegotiate Robert Downey's contract at that time because he wasn't going to come back. He was done.
I mean, the main problem with that was that what's his name didn't want to direct anymore.
Josh Whedon.
Not Josh Whedon, the director of Iron Man.
Jon Favreau.
John Favreau, yeah.
Yeah,
so like, if he would have done 3, I think we would have had a different film. So,
I like Jon Favreau.
He's one of my favorite directors.
No, like he's doing the Lion King remake, and he did Jungle Book. It was excellent. I mean, everything he does, Jon Favreau is out there. He's great, you know. Even Cowboys and Aliens, I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy everything. Anything he's put his hands on, maybe it may not be my favorite movie, but I at least enjoyed the hour and a half, 2 hours that he was beyond the thing. I mean,
so overall, if I was going to give it a rating, I would give it I mean, not for personal reasons, it was a B+ because they did do good effort in it. I just feel like if I give it my own personal rating, then I was a C- because I wasn't impressed with it. But there's a reason that movie probably is playing it safe, and I'm sure we'll get those answers with Captain Marvel, and that's what I'm gonna say. I should shut up till I see that movie, and then I'll go back and say, hey, you know what, Ant-Man wasn't that bad because I got the answers I needed, But I feel like it was just too jokey, and there were certain characters in there, character actors are great actors, but there's just some of their motives and things in it, just, oh my God, shut up. So like, with that said, I did see some impressive movies. I saw Sicario, which was really good.
I was just about to ask you, I have not seen Sicario and have not seen The Purge yet, but I figured like...
I'm going to wait and talk about The Purge till the next show, because that's something me and you will talk about.
That's worth talking about, you think?
Yes, okay. I think Sicario, if you could go see it, if you didn't see the first one, definitely see the second one.
I like Sicario. I like the first Sicario.
I'm gonna wait till you see that too. So we'll talk about those two movies next week.
Why don't you just go ahead and give your opinion? You don't have to not opinion, but just a quick synopsis, how you feel about those movies, if not like a spoiler-free review.
Okay, the first Purge, I didn't really have much expectations, and it was actually pleasantly decent. But I really with Purge, Anarchy, and the first, the last Purge, I forgot the name of that one, so forgive me. But the first Purge that we're going into now, it seems like it's too close to home. So I really feel like these movies are getting more interesting than how cheap they are to make. I feel like they're for sure money makers. Their budgets are usually like $6 million, and they end up doing like $90 million. Because there's the concept is so interesting to people. So it's not. I mean, it's never been a psychological horror film. It's just like it's a horror film as how realistic it can actually be. I
don't even classify them as horror. I think they're just more like action thrillers than horror. But I agree with you. Like I think their presence in today's political landscape are what makes them so poignant, because there are a lot of people who would alt-right people who would love to purge minorities and poor white people.
Look at Battle Royale, the original movie that came out in 2000, and it was such it was like, kids killing kids or whatever, and then we had Hunger Games years later, and everybody was accepted of that. So
it was like that, with the for like Adult Swim or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So basically, the point I'm trying to say, these movies are coming close to reality as can possibly be. So that's what makes it interesting. It's you don't feel so bad leaving those films like, I just watched a bunch of people kill each other.
Right.
But
I think enough people have seen The Purge. Now, I really want to hear why you want people to go see the second Sicario.
The second Sicario is just interesting character development of Benicio del Toro's character. If you see the first one, and if you haven't, I suggest you see it now. Like, shut this YouTube off and rent it, or pull it on your Netflix or whatever. Watch it.
Yeah, you can probably watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, whatever. There's always a way to find it. But watch that film, watch his character development, and then see him get let loose in the second film. And it's awesome how, America's not clean, and you'll see that we do some unclean things just to fight a war.
We do a lot of unclean things.
That's right, but how this character gets affected by those things, and how what's going to happen with this third film that's already being made, I'm really excited for it. So,
they've already greenlit the third project. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go back.
It's another budget like Purge. I'm sure they could put $30 million out there, and they know they'll make the money back.
Right.
Okay,
I like Sicario. Benicio del Toro is one of my favorite actors, so I think I will revisit the first one before I go watch the second one again, because it's been a while.
Right.
But what else is big on the horizon that you think we're going to talk about coming in the near future?
Well, I actually, you know what? Uncle Drew that we made jokes about Uncle Drew actually made really good money.
Uncle Drew?
The basketball movie with old, Shaquille O'Neal and all those guys.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
I didn't even know it came out yet.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's the summertime. Like the parents, once you've seen an Infinity War, Jurassic World, and what was it? What's the other? The big play.
We didn't see
movies,
Tag.
You need to go to movies all summer long. That's how movies
we didn't see Tag, and Tag is doing really good box office numbers.
Yeah. Well, I think, but Tag is one of the films that's going to really do good on DVD, video, streaming.
Well, let's be honest, man. Every summer there's been some sort of Judge Apatow kind of film that's actually, Trainwreck was a huge movie, and that's honestly, the reason that we have Amy Schumer is because we have that movie to blame. Because you know, like the movie was great. It's a great comedy. It's written well, but Amy Schumer is not that great of an actress. Or you know.
Okay, because wait, Trainwreck was which one? That was where
it has Bill Hader and she's...
Okay, now that was tremendous. Now the Goldie Hawn movie that
I didn't watch it.
Okay, now see that you're not missing anything.
Yeah,
that should have gone straight to Netflix.
Right.
Like that did not that movie had no business being in. But now like Trainwreck, I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I actually love Amy Schumer. I love her stand up. I love most of the movie. Now I now think she's a better stand up comedian than she is a actress.
Well,
by
that's
any
what
stretch
made
of
her.
imagination.
That movie made her a superstar.
That movie didn't make her a superstar.
Okay, so but anyways, those type of films, you know, when you see a Judd Apatow movie, they're really long, but they're even funny guys. The one with Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen was depressing, but it was funny. It was well written. So you'll get a really thought out comedy when you watch those films. We don't have a strong comedy right now, so I don't know. I mean, Mission Impossible, I know you don't really care about, but we'll probably end up talking about it.
I mean, I'll watch it, but I just they've never stood out to me.
But right now, Mission Impossible is the next big film that's on the horizon.
Now, I have heard the buzz on it that it is pretty good.
Yes. Like, so, with that said, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's probably some previews out there of movies that we overlooked, and then when they come out, like, oh, hey, we got to see it.
Did you see the trailer for the new Jack Black movie?
No, I have not.
Oh, he's It looks all right. I mean, it looks like a lower budget Harry Potter. He's like a warlock, and there's a child. There's a child element to it and stuff. It looked all right. It looked entertaining.
I think it kind of feels like a Goosebumps kind of movie.
I think he signed a contract or something like that because he was in Jumanji. He was in this. I'm sure it's a contract situation, but
he's a father now. So
I liked Goosebumps. Goosebumps was really good. I thought.
I feel like he's doing a lot of these kid movies not because he's trying to be the next. Martin Lawrence?
I think this is very much a Cuba Gooding situation where like a lot of these guys sometimes, like when they've kind of like ridden their rise to fame, like and they fall off a little bit. Something like Cuba Gooding, I think Cuba Gooding ultimately did damage to his career whenever he signed like it was like a 10-picture deal. Yeah, and so and then it didn't even matter what they just put him in whatever they wanted him to, which radically affected his star power. But I think. Now I think for this, I think he's actually doing a good job. They're actually letting him, get good films to be in.
Well, so. I just feel like, a lot of these guys they turn into parents. They're like, all right, I want to do films that are friendly to my child, So like, I get it. It's just like when you grew up on the films that they started out on, those movies are the reason like they're anything, Like I'm sorry, Ben, but. If you've seen High Fidelity, that's the Jack Black I love, So, like, I understand why they do the things they do. They gotta, they
gotta eat, man. They gotta eat, man.
So, with that said, I hope you guys give us a like, give us a follow. We'll be give us.
Well, why don't you go ahead and before we get out of here, why don't you tell them what else you got going on outside of the Culture Kickback?
We're at so this Friday I'm at Republic in Dallas. I'm gonna be DJing a pool party there, and then I got Renfield's on Saturday. Tuesday I'm back at Renfield's. We'll be talking about The Purge, and we'll be talking about Sicario. Also, then I'll start Small Kitchen on Friday night. And then we'll see what else is on the horizon because things like my calendar's starting to get fuller now, so we'll see. But if you guys want to check me out, www.brianpibb.com or
Don't worry, like on the latest episode, I have our websites underneath our names.
Yeah.
So no guesswork there.
But anyways, man, I just want to say it's an honor to work with you as usual. And this is our 3rd episode. I feel like lots of movement in the last one. So just keep moving in. It's going to get better and better, and we'll have a lot more to talk about.
All right, before I get out of here, I'm going to let you know. I want y'all to go see. I want All the Smoke video. I want y'all to go look at the Good Love video. It's all on YouTube. If you can find this, you can find that. Also, we got the Work video, which I'm featured on, coming out on the hook and the second verse. That's coming out. It's going to be a high concept video. That's going to be dope as fuck. That's going to be for the fellas. There's going to be a lot of ass in that video, ladies. So yeah, that one's going to be good. Yeah. I can't wait to shoot that video. And then on top of that, look for Bomb Takes. We'll film another episode this week. Also on Air Don't Care with my homeboy and brother, Eddie Proof Ryder. Be on the lookout for Late Nights and Cold Liquor, the talk show coming from Eddie Proof and a myriad of guests. We're going to take it back to the old school, one camera setup and guests and all that type shit. And anyway, it's thebomb.com. Check me out. Oh, right now, summer sale. Music videos for $250. Motherfucker, you better take advantage of that shit, because in a month, that shit's going right back up to where it was. And I used to hear from you motherfuckers, you can't afford that shit. So you better get the $250 while you got it. And $30 flyer special right now too. That's half of what I usually charge. Y'all niggas, there's a lot of booty ass shit out there for y'all motherfuckers to be fucking around and not taking advantage of the sales. So with that, Premier Poppy in the building. We signing out. DJ Brian Pibb, John the Baptist, Culture Kickback, episode 3. We out this motherfucker. Gang, gang.